18th, 2017 at the Chino Valley Medical Center, 5451 Walnut Avenue, Conference Center, Chino, California. I'd like to thank our host today, Dr. James Lally, who always goes above and beyond Call of Duty through his hospitality. Okay, go ahead and do the roll call and establishment of quorum.
Dr. Hardy.
Here.
Alan Howard.
Present.
Elizabeth Benson. James Lally.
Good man.
Claudia Mercado. Joseph Smudo.
Here.
Megan Blair. Cheryl Williams.
Internet's okay? Internet's okay. Yes, sir. Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask if there's any public comments or items not on the agenda today.
Caller.
She was on.
Hello.
Set on mute. Jeff, should it be green?
Hello. 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 Caller. Great. Do you have any public comment for items not on the agenda?
I have public comments. I don't know if the items are on the agenda because it was one.
That's fine.
Thank you. Good morning, the board, and I thank you for your time. The purpose for contacting the Osteopathic Medical Board today is to share the great concerns as a citizen and resident of California, particularly for vulnerable elderly patients. Reach out to your board for protection and review of a doctor that has or maybe has not been providing the minimum standard of care. In this case, a complaint was filed in October, and for 3 months there was no response. After we were requested, actually instructed, to file additional information and comments that an analyst would contact us. There was no contact. This matter was handed directly to a consultant for the board, and the doctor was exonerated and the complete complaint unsubstantiated. For the record, according to other agencies in this state, this doctor may or may not have been involved in elderly pursuant to the Welfare Institution Act. And under her care, patient declined to severe dehydration and clinical malnutrition. The patient also succumbed to a hospital-acquired infection that was not treated timely or properly and escalated into septic shock. And finally, pneumonia from aspirating on their own blood due to the insertion of the feeding tube. When a citizen sees these type of grave conditions that the Medicaid and Medicare residents say are medically preventable, and the patient was under the care of a physician for weeks, and when the medical board in our view, which my husband is military and source of report, we believe that the medical board has allowed persons that represent them to put our most vulnerable and dangerous and the rest of the population at risk. If anyone's empowered to continue to provide care at that substandard level, that is not care at all. That is dangerous care. And in these optics, with what's happening in Washington with the healthcare remedies, it doesn't give a lot of space to Californians who pay exorbitant rates in insurance when this is the service that's provided and or will not be oversight. I sincerely hope that the board attempts to get more staff. Shouldn't take 2 months to someone can look at a complaint, but then there shouldn't be a rush to close it out just because. I believe the process should be followed. We should be contacted and have the ability to provide all information so that the person who's acting as a consultant has knowledge and consent of all. So on that note, please, make sure your staff gets help. Please make sure that they are following the procedures that we've laid out for these complaints. And please do not allow anyone to rubber stamp or pencil with a report. Such a positive percentage to become to death when it's preventable.
Thank you very much for those comments. Any other comments from the public? Thank you. We'll move on now to review and approval of minutes from the January 20th, 2017 board meeting.
I do have comments on the minutes. I've given some corrections to Conchico, so pending those corrections, approved. But, yeah, there was, Higginbotham was listed as president, he wasn't president, and Megan Blair was listed as voting but not present, so the changes were already given to Conchico. I don't think we need to go through them specifically.
Were there any other corrections to the minutes? Those are the normal corrections.
Were those the only two edits that you have made?
Yeah, I mean, just like I circled some things on there,
Okay.
and there was a misspelling.
Okay, so as long as it's those two, yes, but with the edits, you guys can do it.
Okay, we'll take our roll vote now for acceptance of the minutes. We have a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept pending the corrections.
A motion to the second. Now we need to.
Dr. Tomato?
Yes.
Dr. Klein?
Yes.
Alan Howard?
Yes.
Dr. Jensen? Dr. Mercado?
Yes. Do we have enough? We don't have enough people. Yeah, it'll have to be on the next meeting, sorry.
Thank you very much. I'd like to make mention that Claudia Mercado is now present. Marker present. What I'd like to do now is go to item number 4, the President's report. I have three things actually. The first is I'll talk about the Federation of State Medical Boards meeting, which occurred April 19th through the 17th, April 19th through the 22nd of 2017 in Fort Worth, Texas. At that meeting, I served on the resolution committee and also was appointed to the education committee for next year's meeting. At that meeting, the days were packed, starting at 7 a.m. and completing at 5 p.m. with education. Some examples of the topics that were very prudent was dealing with issues in physician wellness, dealing with legal and regulatory landscape of assisted dying, dealing with state responses to the opioid epidemic, evidence-based regulations with the challenges and opportunities. This just being a few of the very topics that were covered. I attended one on the assisted dying, and this was a very powerful meeting, and there was a representative from the state of California, a representative from the state of Oregon, and a representative from the province of Ontario, Ottawa, Canada, excuse me. And there were similarities and differences in the laws. The most profound difference is in Canada, where an individual does not have to have a terminal condition to request euthanasia. They may, on the basis of mental health conditions, request. So much more liberal in the way that they see things. California seems to be the most conservative, California's rules are set in regulation and have greatest protection for those individuals who decide to partake of that opportunity or choice in their life. A lot of controversy, of course, is what you can imagine, a lot of turmoil. Next, what I have in the packet is I have a copy under section C, tab 3, the adopted guidelines by the Federation of State Medical Boards, guidelines for the chronic use of opioid analgesics, voted on April 2017 and approved. It's a 16-page document which covers aspects of opioid use, discontinuation, patient protection, physician behavior, and very well done product. It was approximately a couple of years have been on this project, and it was good to see it came to fruition. And this is a model that can be used by all of the states. The next topic I want to talk about, I think, is an exciting topic. There's been a discussion about our changing our CME renewal packet to 2-year cycles. And with that, the concern was having a standardization of CME information. If you're currently an AOA member, all your testing to your CME is done by the AOA. The AOA sends a report to OMBC. So I contacted AOA, and in your packet you'll find some pictures right after the opioid packet titled the AOA Trace CME Collaboration. And this is geared for non-AOA members. So on the second page, the CME collaboration, which is between the OMBC and the AOA, the objective is for the OMBC to utilize the AOA as the clearinghouse of non-AOA members for CME verification to enable relicensure in the state of California. The next page, about to track CME. Track CME software automatically captures CME credits that an individual DO completes via the AOA and accredited AOA sponsors. Allows individual DOs to report AMA, PRA Category 1 credit, or AAFP Category 1 credit to be applied to their CME activity report. The CME activity report outlines specialty CME credits for easier readability. Individual DOs have the ability to print or email the CME activity report for their specific needs. The pricing for AOA members is included in your membership. For non-members, there's a nominal fee of $35 per transcript requested. On the next page, this is a sample track CME transcript, I believe it's mine, and in it, it shows you your board certification, especially mandated CMEs, whether you've obtained your credits or not, the amount of credits that are needed to be fulfilled. That's on the left. And on the right side, it breaks down the actual type of credit, amount of credit submitted, whether it's applied to 1A, 1B, or 2AB, the date, and where it was done. This is a very nice product to use for patients, especially for physicians who are not AOA members. We have a contact, Gail Urban, who will be our contact customer resource center. So I think this answers a number of questions. One concern was, as we went to the 2-year cycling, we have the manpower to handle all the non-AOA members seeing me. This provides us a way of dealing with the amount of work required to have complete verification for all physicians. So I find this to be an exciting process. Any questions about? Yes.
Wow. Right now, we're still on a 3-year cycle.
Correct.
So if we go to 2 years, the hour requirement will stay the same, and we just accumulate it over 2-year periods instead of 3 years.
Correct. 50 hours per year. Total of 100 for 2 years.
Versus 150.
150.
So we're going to take it, so we're proportionate.
Yes.
Okay, so we're not increasing the number of hours. We're just condensing the time.
Condensing the timeline.
To be a little bit more in line with other reporting rules.
Okay, things on the side.
Thank you.
Question, can you go over what's included for skimmies? So if you did have 100 credit, what, does it change every time, every 2 years, or is it the same information?
The credits are based upon the number of courses you're taking. So, for instance, the education process throughout the year, where physicians go, if they go to a national meeting, there is a variety of topics that you can pick. So the didactics vary based upon which meetings you choose to go to.
So then there's a class of 1A, of which we have a specified determination of the breakdown. So in our 100 hours, we need to have so many 1As.
Yes, 40 hours of osteopathic, 1A or 1B, and then the remaining 60 can be either non-osteopathic, AMA approved, or osteopathic.
So it gives you enough flexibility.
So you should be able to do that.
That's all decided based on the educational needs, and they're usually courses that you go to, in-person courses generally ranked higher than a course online versus I read an article and then interested to that questions. So that's
All those varieties available. So everyone has their own didactics based upon what they're interested in.
So there's still a force of protection to the public that we want by ensuring that doctors are maintaining some level of keeping up, I guess is.
Staying current with their.
Staying current.
Okay. Any other questions about this? Is there any questions from the public regarding this topic? Okay. Thank you very much. Next, we will go to go for administrative session. So, can we move into Angie's report? Sure. So we're going to move to item number 8, Executive Director Angie Burton's report.
This report is to provide the board members with an update on licensing, performance measures, cures, budget, and enforcement functions at the Osteopathic Medical Board of California, and no action is needed at this time. Reporting some license statistics, as of April 30th, 2017, the number of osteopathic physicians and surgeons holding a California license, which is active status 8,135, inactive status 593, which totals an 8,728 licensees, which is an 8% increase from May of 2016. In addition to the above, there are 951 licenses in a delinquent status, which means that they are still within the jurisdiction of the board. In in-state licensees, those that are actively practicing in California, we have 6,970 active licensees and 48 hold inactive licenses, and the majority of the 48 licenses that are inactive are either in research or they're retired and they're just holding an inactive license. Number of applications received from January 1st through April 30th of this year, we have received 299 applications. The total number of applications received for this fiscal year to date is 799. Last year, at the end of the fiscal year, we had 813, so we're definitely going to be over last year's number of applications. The number of licenses issued from January through April is 307. The total number of fictitious name permit applications received this fiscal year to date is 85. And we reported at our last meeting that in fiscal year 2015-16, the average application processing time was 106 days. And we reported that we had implemented some changes in our application processes. With this process in place, our goal was to reduce our processing time by 30 days. We're pleased to report that our licensing specialist has worked with our 2 support staff and with their assistance has cut our license application process time by well over 30 days. From January through April of this year, our application process time averaged 52 days. So kudos to our licensing staff. Cures, Controlled Substance Utilization Review and Evaluation System update. As of April 30th, 2017, DOJ reports that a number of osteopathic physicians who have registered in Cures 2.0 is 5,301. In April of 2017, osteopathic physicians ran 27,761 patient activity reports. Cures 1.1 is no longer available, and all the prescribers who were registered in Cures 1.1 have been migrated to Cures 2.0. Pursuant to Senate Bill 1478 Omnibus Bill, effective July 1st of this year, osteopathic physicians and surgeons holding an inactive license will no longer be required to pay the annual $6 for the Cures program. All our renewal materials, manual and online, have been revised to include this new inactive license fee. We reported at the last board meeting that University of California Davis, UCD, in partner with the California Department of Public Health, with assistance from the MBC and OMBC, was conducting a survey regarding cures and controlled substance prescribing in California. UCD had requested some additional information from both MBC and OMBC, and with the assistance from the MBC IT specialist, we provided demographic data requested. And as soon as the survey result is complete, UCD will share this information with us.
Angie, can I ask a question?
Sure.
About Cures? Does the system provide sort of, without having to run reports? So I see over 5,000 osteopathic physicians are registered for Cures. They've run 27,000 reports. So it's not a lot. I mean, considering 5,000 users, they're not running very many, right? So it's maybe 5 or 6 per person. Oh, per month, okay. All right, I missed that. But my question is, does the system actually sort of, does it have tolerances where it actively warns the users that you have a patient that's receiving way too many of a certain kind of drug, or do they have to have a suspicion and go in and actively pull a report?
Yeah, I can answer that question. On your front page, when you open it up, it has a list of, I think, 10 patients per page. Patients who are at higher risk because they may be on pain medicine and a benzodiazepine, or they may be having more than one physician prescribing. Or, I mean, there's a variety of criteria that are marked out in the system to alert you these people right off the bat. And then when you go to an individual patient, you then can look and see if there's been any change in pattern in terms of what pharmacies they're using, what the filling dates are, and you can see whether or not they're picking up the prescriptions too. If you write a prescription and it's never been filled, the question is what they're doing with their script. So it brings up questions that you need to ask, and then cross-check to that is that when you see the physician, you ask them for a urine sample, and then when the sample comes in and you find things that aren't supposed to be there, talk to them about that. Or if you don't find what you expect in the class, if you're taking your narcotics, how come we don't find it? I mean, so the cross-checks are really good in terms of what the patient can provide you and the computer can provide you, and it's working real well.
It sounds really good. I just wanted to be sure that there was some proactive part of the system where it's proactively warning physicians, because So as long as the physician's using the system, then it's relatively proactive. If they're not using it or they're just not paying attention, then
The new law as of this year is that physicians are supposed to run a PAR before they prescribe to a patient for the first time. And if the patient is to remain on narcotics, then they're supposed to check them every 4 months or so to make sure that they're not getting prescriptions from other physicians and so forth. The only time that you don't need to run a PAR is like in an emergency room or a patient that you know. I mean, there's some criteria, and I do believe I brought the bill also. So it is something that now, in the past, all you had to do was be registered. Now you're required to use it.
that's great.
And pharmacies are also using it. So you may get a phone call from the pharmacy to alert you that, did you know that they received a prescription yesterday from another doctor?
Okay.
Thank you for the call. So, yeah, checks and balances.
That's great.
It's also check and balances for the doctors and stuff, right? So the pharmacist can also see if the doctor, is there somebody on the doctor's behalf?
Yes,
So they can know when they know prescribe.
that is correct.
Yeah, I mean, the pharmacy will call you and ask you about a change. Did you need to make this change? And you say, well, yeah, I changed the medicine because there's a side effect, or it's not working, or he broke his leg, or something's changed in the scenario that required the change. And they have a responsibility to the public too, so that they're not giving medications out when they shouldn't be, and they want to protect the patient as much as we want to protect the patient. So I think that we have to keep them in the loop, and unfortunately, they're not always in the loop like we want them to be, but I think if there's that working relationship with both the pharmacist and the physician work together for the patient's safety, that'll be better. There's a seminar actually coming up through the Federation of State Medical Boards, which is nursing, pharmacy, physician organizations coming and talking about this issue.
Do we, as a board, should we keep track of, let's say, like the number one thing that's being prescribed in California? Is that data at all accessible?
It is available. We can run reports out of the cures to see who are the top 10 prescribers of oxycodones, to say, based on what drug we're looking for. And it is we do use the cures in enforcement. So the regulatory board has access. So if we get a complaint that a physician is overprescribing, we can run a cures on that physician to see if they in fact are overprescribing. And then of course we kind of point to see if they are, if there's maybe a patient that might be in jeopardy of being overprescribed, then we can open an investigation.
Just a side note, there's a little frustration sometimes changing the medication when you're trying to down-regulate the medicine. You want to reduce the dosage. You'd think that the insurance would automatically want you to do that, but they want you to pre-authorize change in medicine, whether it's up or down, they don't care, they just want it pre-authorized. So there's a little bit of a delay in terms of how long it takes to down dose a patient, because sometimes the strengths you want to bring them down to may not necessarily be available to do so. It has some bugs to work on.
Moving on to our budget, the current 2016-17 expenditure projection report is included in this packet, and also included in the packet is our 17-18 governor's budget, Osteopathic Medical Board's analysis of fund condition. This year's budget again is very tight. It is projected that we will close this fiscal year with a 2.2% reversion. I think last year the final reversion was 0.7, so we're doing a little better than what we did last year. The fund condition balance does not include the $1.5 million loan, which is still outstanding. Therefore, the osteopathic fund condition is very healthy at this time. We have submitted 2 budget change proposals, ECPs, one to increase our enforcement budget, to increase spending authority for the Attorney General's costs, investigative costs, and our expert reviewer costs. The past 2 years, we have had to become very selective in our investigations beginning as early as April in order to make sure to stay within our budget. And an increase in our enforcement budget is needed to better protect the consumers of this state. The second BCP is to request additional staffing, one in enforcement and one in licensing. The current number of staff is working at maximum capacity workload. Many of the pending legislative changes will create significant workload increase, both in the processing of applications and in enforcement. So if approved, these budget staffing changes will become effective July of 2018.
Any updates on feedback?
No, we won't know for a while. Any other questions or anything on the budgets?
Relative to our relocation square footage project.
We have a meeting on May 30th with facilities to start site search.
Oh, there's seats here, so please feel free to sit down. So comfortable.
Yes, Corey Sparks will be giving the enforcement budget. Enforcement report.
Board members. There are a couple, after bringing this up and getting it off the much, that I think really good. I'll make note of that. Okay, following OBC enforcement report covers a 12-month period, starting in the second quarter of 2016 to the first quarter of 2017. OBC enforcement report is divided into 5 sections: investigation, enforcement, enforcement, and probation. Data is used for these reports. I did add another section that Alan had provided a really good question last meeting. Basically, that's on pending cases that are exceeding our performance targets. And we get those.
I'm sorry, we don't have a mic, so you can speak up a little bit, so take it.
I'm trying to hold up in front of things. Okay, so in table 1 above, under total intake, which is the third tier on that table, third bottom tier, OBC received 504 complaints, 32 of these cases were convictions and arrests. During this period, 490 cases were assigned for investigation, and the average number of days to assign a case was 17. In figure 1.2 below, we see the intake total for each month. In May, there was a slight increase in 75 cases, and this increased the pending numbers for May and June. Most of these cases were assigned in July, which accounts for an increase of 94. I think there was also a very slight increase in complaints in November, which also increases the increase in November and assigned cases in December. Read that section. But one thing I want to go to is if we go back up to that table above, table 1 under convictions and arrests, this last quarter we do see a slight uptick in convictions and arrests. We had a total of 11 arrests, which is a bit above average than what we normally did in the last 3 quarters. Page 2, table 1.3 below, the bar graph illustrates the monthly average number of days to assign or close a complaint. Each measures the period from the time the complaint is assigned, the complaint is received in the office, to the time the complaint is assigned, the investigation or it's closed. Performance target for intake is 30 days. The board met the performance target for the last 12 months, with one exception, the month of December, which averaged 31 days. The overall average for the last 12 months was 17 days. Moving on to investigations, desk investigations, which are internal investigations. by board. For all desk investigations during this period, table 2 above breaks down the monthly totals of how many complaints were assigned to completed. The monthly aging cases pending. During this period, a total of 508 desk investigations were assigned, 545 were completed, and 127 cases were pending. The average number of days to complete the desk investigation is 96. So when cases come in and are assigned, it parallels very closely to our desk investigations. Almost simultaneously approach. Those numbers are very close to the same. Page 3, figure 2.2 below, we can see the assigned cases really sharply increased to 94 cases in the month of July. Completed desk investigations gradually increased in June and July as well, and pending cases were high for the month in July, slight increase in December. So in blue, we see those assigned cases jumped up because if you look at on page 2, where on the bottom of that page 2, where it says pending, it's 152, 142, 116.
Second quarter 2016.
Yeah. There's
Is there a correction?
no, it was just something I wanted to highlight. Oh, we go back to the first page, I'm sorry, go back to the first page, up on the one intake table, we'll see, under pending, it says 20, on the sign page, 24, 57, 54, and then it just goes down to 5, where if you go up and you see under assigned 94, there was, during that month of July, we assigned a huge amount of 94 cases, so that, so while under pending, we're kind of getting backlog during May and June, and all of a sudden we ended up signing all those cases, and that's why it jumps up here in investigations in 94. So that makes sense. Okay, so moving on page 3, this is field investigations. Table 3 above breaks down the monthly totals for field investigations assigned to the division of investigations. Completed cases are either closed with insufficient evidence or referred to the Attorney General's office for disciplinary action. During this 12-month period, 24 cases were assigned to field investigations, 31 were completed, and the average number of days to complete an investigation was 38 cases were pending at the end of first quarter 2017. That's a typo, it should be first quarter 2017. I do want to add that since our investigations have gone out to IDU division investigations as opposed to the HQIU, which was the investigation that we were using before, there's a slight difference in terms of when IDU completes a desk investigation, it's not a field investigation, they send that case back to us, and then as a board, we have to send that case back out to an expert. So this is kind of it increases a little bit of aging for us, whereas before when we had cases investigated by HQIU, that process was within their domain. They would go ahead and send the case to an expert that they would review that for us. So since having to go to the IDU, it's kind of slowed up our field. Page 4. Figure 3 below compares the aging of completed desk and field investigations per month. The aging is the average number of days to complete an investigation. Starting from the date of investigations completed. Or assigned to the aging. Year-to-date average desk investigations was a very respectable 96. close to 3 months. The year-to-date average for field investigation was 3.3, which is 37 days below performance target of 60. In July, we see 705 days for 2 field investigations. Both of these cases have been submitted. In November, 1 field investigation, 1 case was closed with an age of 3 days. This was a result of the subject applying to the field inspector from another state agency. So we had openly got them sent out to the field because he wasn't applying to these state agencies, but he needed to apply, so that case will be closed. Agent for desk and field investigations, so in table 4, and in figure 4.1, we'll see the aging matrix for the number of investigations that were closed per month within a specific time period. 304 cases, or 55% were completed within 3 months or 90 days. 170 cases, or 1%, were completed in 91 or 180 days, or within 6 months. 45 cases, 8%, were completed within 6 months and a year. 19 cases, or 3%, completed between 1 to 2 years. 11 cases, or 2%, were completed between 2 to 3 years. 4 cases, completed 1%, completed after. So the majority of the investigations, 86%, were completed within 6 months. 94% was completed within 3 years. Any questions on that?
That's our standard. We're making our standard.
Yeah, they will make an argument, yeah. We're repeating one, yeah.
Are there specific standards set by NBC or by Osteopathic?
Yeah, those are what, yeah, we go on the website, they post our quarterly reports, DCA does, they have a performance card.
So there's state standard.
DCA said during the CEI, Consumer Protection Enforcement Initiative.
But these are all averages, so there are cases that do exceed those. So they're all averages out. We're trying to keep it within. Page 5, enforcement actions. For all enforcement actions, table 5 above breaks down the amount of totals for each current action. During this 12-month period, 24 cases were transmitted to the actions. 15 accusations, statement of issues were filed. 18 final disciplinary orders were filed. 1 accusation was withdrawn. 3 cases were closed without disciplinary action. 4 citations were issued, 6 suspension orders. At the end of the first quarter 2017, there were 25 pending. So I want to comment that we are being a little more aggressive with our citations, trying to reduce those. And one of our analysts is starting to take over these citations, so we're learning how to do those. Hopefully that will increase issuing those.
Can you tell us more about those items?
Pardon me?
You said you're being more aggressive with those items.
Well, I think we've had opportunities to use citations, sometimes we won't do that because of time and resources.
We're referring to site finding.
Yeah, site finding. And some of them will come in, for instance, in licensing, will send out their renewal. We'll get them back because the doctor hasn't updated their address. And so, kind of, at times don't cite find them because of discretion on our part, but it's because it takes time to write up the site find, get it out there, and enforce it. And so it's a matter of time that we don't do it now. There's more serious site findings when someone does something we immediately jump on that site find.
So I just want to say, Corey, thank you very much for adding this last section. It's really nice to see this.
Okay.
This is exactly what I wanted to see. And then I just want to clarify that I'm understanding your tables and the numbers. So in 5.1, these are cases that have been finalized. status, right? So these are closed cases, but this was the aging on the cases that were
The final
closed.
orders, right?
Yeah, so these are now considered closed, so we had basically,
These table 6 actually.
sorry, table 6, yeah,
Right.
table 6. So we had 9 cases that we closed that were over 2 years old.
Yeah, if you go on page 6, you'll see the breakdown.
Right, so 9 cases over 2 years old were closed, the oldest one being 4 years old, right? And then we still have 20-something,
18, the typo is there was 18 final orders left.
18 final orders. And how many cases do we still have that are open, that are over 2 years old? That's on the next page?
Yeah, I'll get to that.
We're on page 7, good.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So let's go top of page 6. So table 6, previous page, and figure 6.1 pie chart, you see the aging matrix of the 18 final orders, not 2018.
Yeah.
That were completed on first quarter 2016 report. That should be another typo. Actually, second quarter 2016, first quarter. The aging measures the period from the date the cases were received in the office to the order. The pie chart shows the percentage of cases distributed in each time period of the 18 final orders, 1 case. This would be within 180 days. 2 cases within 6 months to a year. 6 cases or 3% within 1 to 2 years. 2 cases, 11% within 2 to 3 years. 5 cases, 28% within 4 years, and 2 cases, 11% within 4 years. 50% of the final orders were completed in 2 years. So then we have performance measures. These are our performance targets that ECA has set for us. The first chart on P&C cycle time, the average time is 1 day. As you can see on that, we met that pretty consistently up until December, which I previously noted was 31 days. We missed that one. P&3 cycle time, this intake and investigation. So this P&3 measures both desk investigation and field investigation. So when we average all that together, we're all pretty much within our performance target. So except for December, again, we did a little bit about that. Going on to page 7, P&4 cycle time, this is informal discipline. This is the average number of days to complete the entire enforcement process. The case is transmitted to general formal discipline. This includes intake, investigation, and transmittal outcome. As you can see, it's pretty much split where in May, July, December, February, March, we all met that performance target. Then we see some of those other things like in August, September, October, January, we did not meet those targets.
So again, just one question on pending cases exceeding performance targets. So I just want to confirm, again, reading this correctly. We have 13 cases that are exceeding 2 years and that are still open. Is that correct? Only 13.
Okay. Let me explain this chart. Okay, so all current pending cases exceeding performance targets. There are 7 desk investigations, 28 field investigations, and 10 control general. All of these cases are currently open.
Yeah.
Open cases. And they are, at this time, because of their aging, they're beyond our performance targets. So for the desk investigations and field investigations, our performance target is 360 minutes. So of the desk investigations, we should see that 4 of those cases actually, well, I'll just go back, but in the current chart, you see over, or within 360 and 730 days. So they're from a year to 2 years for those cases. And it's still, each day, that number increases 1 day at a time. 3 cases or 2 years. But after 3 years on desk investigations, we'll close that because it's statute of limitations. So if we don't find anything or it becomes stale after 3 years, we can't enforce. We have 3 years in which we can make file with the.
So why would you have a desk case that's still open at 3 years?
We don't.
Well, before 3 years, you have 3 that are between 2 and 3 years old.
Right,
Desk
because
case.
they haven't hit 3 years yet.
Right. But why would you have one that's still open after 2 years?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I've gone back in and looked at those cases.
Uh-huh.
So in fact, 3 of those cases, I was able to close. Right now, after I did this chart, I was able to close 3 cases.
So the chart was helpful.
Right, exactly. Thank you. Well, one case actually was closed. The analyst just forgot to go into the system and close it.
Okay.
So I went into it, closed it, talked to the analyst. I just probably got distracted.
That's great.
Exactly. So the other 2 cases were able to close because one, we're going to re-review it in July. So it's a possible strike case, right? It was an anonymous complainant. So we decided, well, we'll review that in July under the budget and putting the tiers on it. That case. I can't remember the other case. Why we closed it. It's almost statute of limitations. So on the right-hand side, you see the highest aging value. So of those cases, you see there's a case that has the highest aging value. That's it. So for field investigations, you see there's 25 cases within a year, 2 years, 3, 2 to 3 years. And those cases are still under that 3-year statute of limitations. So if it goes out to field investigations and they fail to complete it within 3 years, then respect lost opportunity. And as you see for aging cases, there's currently 10 cases that are beyond the AG part. I don't know, my opinion is that the aging cases is set at 500 a day. No, I personally, I don't know if that's realistic. In terms of trying to meet that that's just my opinion. In most cases that go up for investigation, I think AG are already at 2.5 years maybe. And then they go to AG again. So it's, I don't know. This is my opinion.
Can you wrap up?
So that's it. We'll quickly on probation, there are currently 43 probation cases, 34 cases in cost recovery. To date, the total cost recovery is $2,171. As of January 18, 2017, $233,120 have been paid, the balance is $67,040. That's the balance sheet. So, for the most part, everybody in probation is doing well. There's a couple of little layout things that I think, one case probably will start taking action.
I'd like to thank you, Mark, for another excellent detailed report, which you to chisel away and a lot of good data for.
Thank you. My apologies for the time.
No problem. What I'd like to do is take a few minutes to get the room arranged for the administrative hearing. Is the court reporter here?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay. Do you need electric plugs or anything?
Do we know how long it plans to go? I don't need electrical for about 1 hour,
Oh,
so.
okay. So why don't you come up to the front? Yeah. It's set up here. Hello. We're still missing.
And I'm gonna leave for this, so she can have my spot, so I don't sit up here for this.
Keyboard and three chairs.
It should be just the teacher and if they brought teacher in, or someone else. I don't think so. It's really, we'll know when his teacher asks for another chair, we can give her another chair,
Chair declares it's 10:30 and we'll begin our administrative hearing. I'd like to turn the meeting over to Judge Calhoun.
Sorry. All right, we're going to go ahead and open the record. We are opening the record in the matter of the petition for reduction of penalty of Brenda Ruth Steinberg, D.O., case number 00-2011-3165 before the Osteopathic Medical Board of California. OAH number is 2017-040-644. It is May 18th, 2017, a little past 10:30 a.m. And we are at the Chino Valley Medical Center in Chino, California. My name is Julie Cabos Owen. I'm an administrative law judge with the Office of Administrative Hearings. And please have the appearances of the parties for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Wendy Whitlis, Deputy Attorney General, appearing on behalf of the Osteopathic Medical Board of California.
Bob Frank for
Madam Clerk, here, so far, but if I can't, I'll also, all right, thank you. And then, just so we have it on the record, if I could have the board members just identify themselves for the record.
Lally, James Lally, Leo.
Claudia Mercado. Claudia Mercado.
Joseph Sanujo, T.O. Cyrus Missouri, T.O. Alan Howard,
I did receive a packet of documents and I noticed that the board members also have that packet. There are exhibits A through O in that packet. An exhibit list was provided, so those exhibits will be marked according to that exhibit list, A through O, and that is incorporated by reference. Also, I've added another exhibit, and that is the amended notice of hearing for today, and that is marked as exhibit P for identification. Go through the exhibits and give an opening from me. Particularly the petitioner goes forward first, but
No, just for convenience and expediency, counsel and I spoke prior to the hearing. I have no objections to any of all of the exhibits being admitted. In addition, counsel received some additional exhibits which he provided to me, which are in the updated packets that were given to the board, and I have no objection to those exhibits.
so there being no objection, then exhibits A through O, and then exhibit P is a notice of hearing. Those are all admitted.
Thank you.
And, Mr. Frank, did you have anything in opening?
Had the privilege of representing Dr. Spencer in connection with this petition she's filed. I'm honored to represent her. Let her now be before the board to answer any questions you might have as her counsel. But as I see, I think it's about she's not a grant petition. Probably best informed by the things that she might have to say about why she's here. So I'm going to allow her permission to address the board and call her.
All right, if she's going to be saying anything that we're taking as evidence, then she's going to need to actually be sworn in. Proceed the way you want to proceed as far as questioning or having her give a statement, but I'm going to swear her in.
Good swear, right?
All right. Please raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I swear. And if you could just state your name.
My name is Brenda Sniper.
Did you want her to give a statement?
Yes. Have any questions?
So what we'll do is we'll have you give the statement, and then if Ms. Willis has anything in cross-examination, she can go ahead and ask questions, and then there'll be an opportunity for each of the board members to ask questions as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you very much for allowing me the privilege of being here in front of you. I do consider this to be an extraordinary privilege, and my goal is to not let you down in this process. I come before you to ask for my license to be fully reinstated, and part of the reason why is because I truly feel that I am ready. I have been sober since, I'm very nervous, I apologize, June 24th, 2011, so it's been well over 5 years, and I've had continuous and monitored sobriety, and as a part of progressing in life, as part of moving forward, the question becomes why should we go ahead and do this now rather than later? And in my career, I am currently working in an office where we don't bill insurance patients because with a restricted license, I'm not able to bill private insurances. And as I grow in my career, I would really like to be able to offer my services in primary care to more venues, places where people do have insurance, because the vast majority of patients needing services right now do carry insurance. And so I want to be able to offer myself as a physician to help meet that primary care demand where it is needed. In addition, my board certification, initial board certification is in emergency medicine. And currently in Bakersfield, there's a dire shortage of emergency medicine physicians. I receive calls on an almost weekly basis from hiring agencies asking me if I can come fill need or shifts in emergency departments in Bakersfield where they don't have any coverage. With a restricted license, I cannot practice in the emergency room at all. And so if the restrictions are removed, I would be able to step up to the plate and help meet that demand and part of giving the best work we have. And on a more personal note, my I really believe that as a person in recovery, that work is necessary, and I have benefited from everything that I've done, and I'm grateful for all the support. And I'm truly grateful to have had the support and walk the path I walked, but I really feel that now, at almost 6 years sober, it is my time to turn my attention back to my family, back to being a mother, back to being, my husband has shown up for me without fail for the last 6 years, so that I can walk this path. And I would really like to be able to return the favor to him now, and be able to say, okay, now I can show up for you. Now we can be more of a partnership again, rather than me requiring all the support. When I hit 5 years sober, almost a year ago, I really feel like my life changed. I really feel like I started to come back together as a person. I started feeling comfortable again. I started being able to walk that path with more assurance. And as a sober individual, a lot of studies that come out of programs show that 5 years sober is really where that mark happens, where people start to really become much more solid in their sobriety. And I noticed that for me. At 5 years, that was really the benchmark where I felt my life started to come back together, and I started to feel more whole as a human being, more settled, more able to go forward. There's a lot of information in my packet about what I have done, it's been a long process. Clearly, a lot of things have happened. I don't know if that. I don't want to tell you a big long story if you've already read it. But the nuts and bolts are, I came into sobriety in June of 2011, and that was because my addiction hit an end where I couldn't sustain it anymore. The life I was leading was no longer viable. There was no good coming out of it. So I had a choice. Either I was going to die or I was going to get sober, one or the other. And I didn't make that choice. God made that choice. And God chose to let me live. And so I started on the road to recovery. And about 6 months later, the Department of Consumer Affairs came to investigate my illegal prescription writing. And that's when I came into Access. It was in December of 2011. And I am currently participating in Access. About 3 years later, got very sure my license got put on probation. It got August of 2014, my license was put on probation for 5 years. And so that puts my exit date at 2019, is that right? And so that's a total time frame of 8 years. And the life of my family, the life of my little kids, it's been a long time. So, what I'm doing now to stay sober, Alcoholics Anonymous saved my life, okay? So, I don't go to Alcoholics Anonymous because I have to go to Alcoholics Anonymous. It's never been the case for me. I go to Alcoholics Anonymous because Alcoholics Anonymous is what gives me the joy and the stability to move forward in my life and to stay sober and to meet the challenges of daily life. So, if my petition is granted and I no longer have to participate in conversion, my life, from a recovery standpoint, is not going to look all that different. I still am going to go to 4 8-8 meetings a week. I still have access to my addiction psychiatrist. I still have access to counseling. I have resources. I have a sponsor. I sponsor 2 women who rely on me. And recently, I was speaking with this wild list prior to the meeting. My sponsor and I, in my community, But because that's where I gained my experience, and I can hope in such a small community, that's where I've gone. So my sponsor and I together made a ladies' group. They're welcome. Because a lot of women, if you want to go to a women's meeting, it's going to be closed meeting, and you can't bring your kids. So we definitely wanted to make it a venue where it was accessible. So.
I might ask you a question or two. How do you feel that you might be able to have some time to get back to the family and over probation term?
Well, I estimated about 5 hours a week. I spent participating in diversion related activities. And if those requirements are no longer present, I could devote that time back into my family, back into my community, back into my medical practice.
How much of your program sobriety currently is you trying to participate in the diversion program as opposed to the other things you're doing?
Well, the only thing that would be different is that I still attend a healthcare support group once a week that is mandated by diversion. Aside from the drug testing and the other paperwork. To attend the addiction recovery group anymore, but the rest of my program would still look to I would still have a sponsor. I would still sponsor women. I would still do the steps. And like I said, I don't do this because I want a gold star and alcoholics anonymous. I do it because it's what keeps me alive and well, staying sober. So it's when diversion ends, I can't let that part in because that's where I derive my sense of well-being, like I said, my sobriety comes from that, and I'm not moving that way just because diversion ends. Thank you, and like I said, there is a lot of information there, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Do you have any questions?
I'd like to direct your attention to tab M. So line number 9. What is it's the second page after client notes from the Hazelton program. Are you there?
Yeah, okay, great, we got it.
Everybody else? Okay. So I want you please to go through this list of drugs that you were taking. And this was from your stay at Hazelton, which was at the end of December of 2011 and the beginning of January of 2012. So the first drug that you were on was Zyrtec. What is that and what are the effects and are you still on it?
That's an antihistamine for seasonal allergies and, actually, yes, I still take, I don't take Zyrtec. I take 50, or no, that's not. Okay, I take plain Zyrtec still for allergies and it's an antihistamine.
And that does not provide you with any kind of euphoria or any kind of reaction similar to the substances that you utilize over. No.
It is recommended not to take Benadryl as an antihistamine because it's a big virus risk. So I don't take Benadryl as an antihistamine. I always take the Zyrtec, which is on the inclusion list.
The next drug is, I'm going to spell this one.
Omeprazole.
That's it. O-M-E-P is in Paul, R-A-C-O-L-E. What is that, please?
It's a proton pump inhibitor, which is amino acid.
Thank you. The next drug is Gabapentin, G-A-B-A-P-E-N-T-I-N. What is that?
That's one that's used for neuropathic pain, and they prescribed it to me in Hazelden because I was still suffering a little bit from withdrawal, and I was having a lot of restlessness. I was having a hard time sitting still, and I did not continue to take that after my discharge from Hazelden. I haven't taken that in years.
The next drug is Lexapro, L-E-X-A-P-R-O. That's a thyroid drug, I think, isn't it? No, excuse me, that's an antidepressant, I beg your pardon. Correct?
You are correct.
Are you still on that?
Yes, that's an SSR, antidepressant. Yes, I still take that. Yes, I still take milligrams.
And does that give you any sort of a euphoria or anything, or does that just help with depression? The last is melatonin, M-E-L-A-T-O-N-I-N. Are you still on that? What is that?
That's a vitamin. It's an over-the-counter supplement. It's a vitamin. It's for sleep, and I don't have any problems anymore, so I'm probably taking them.
Are you on any other medications that I have not asked you about?
I do take over-the-counter Flonase or Nasonex for seasonal allergies, which is the nasal steroid. I take over-the-counter Tylenol and or Advil. I have a headache or muscle pain.
Is that it?
I think that's,
You referenced in your narrative statement some of the issues that were, some of the medical issues that were present when you started using prescription drugs. Are those medical issues still present in your life or not?
no, those medical issues are not.
And do you have any other present medical issues that cause you current physical pain or discomfort?
Well, I broke my foot at about, I don't know, it was 3 or 4 years old. I broke my tib metatarsal on the left side, and that didn't feel good.
What did you do for pain management?
I took Advil and Tylenol exclusively because, I didn't want, at that point in time, the pain wasn't extensive enough that I really felt like it required narcotics. So I just felt it was best not to be on that path.
Have you considered and discussed with either your primary care physician or with your sponsor in AA or with anybody in any of the recovery programs that you attend, what you will do if you encounter a situation in which you are
that is definitely something that I face as a potential. If I'm in a situation where I have to take narcotics, what's going to happen? And believe me, there's a lot of trepidation involved in that. It's a very, very frightening thought to be in a situation where narcotics are necessary, and a lot of consideration has gone into that, because for me, addiction means to die. I didn't end up here by mistake. The big book about Alcoholics Anonymous says jails and institutions were death. I was gonna be dead. Believe me, it was not good. And so, me looking out for my welfare and wanting to be sure that should that happen, I have adequate mechanisms in place that if I can't help myself, I have a backup system that can help me, because drug addiction is my brain telling me I need more and it costs. I don't care what's going on. And so what we have done as a family and as a community around me is everybody knows I'm a drug addict, my physician knows, my husband knows, my sponsor knows. I'm a drug addict. I don't know when to stop. I can't stop when I want to stop. When the time is appropriate, my brain says keep going. So they all know what the situation is, and they all know, and I'm an addiction psychiatrist too, who knows and understands. So if I end up in a situation where I need to take narcotics, my support system is in place with physicians, with family, with sponsor. It says, okay, this is a serious situation. This is a situation we have to pay attention to, and we have to make sure that appropriate external controls outside of my brain are put in place so that when it needs to stop, it stops.
Was that system in effect when you broke your metaphysical?
No, because, yes, it was. If I had to take narcotics for it, yes, that system would have come into effect. But because I opted not to, it was okay.
With regard to the information that you provided in your initial statement to the board members, I'd like to ask you some additional questions about that. You mentioned speaking with me prior to the formal hearing opening today, and I just wanted to make it clear, when I had that conversation with you, this is the presence of your attorney, correct?
Yes, it was.
Okay. Now, you talk about your plans for the future. Are you intending to go to work full-time, part-time? What are you planning on doing?
Part-time.
What does that mean to you in terms of hours?
Probably 24.
And you talked about, if I understood you correctly, possibly taking positions that are available at emergency rooms. I'm not familiar. Does that mean you would work 2 12-hour shifts, or you would work on 24-hour shifts? How would that work?
Most emergency rooms work on either 8 or 12-hour shifts. So I would either be doing an 8-hour shift and an 8-hour or 12-hour shift.
Now, you've been working with a physician who's supplied the board with a number of letters regarding your work habits and the aid that you get in his practice. Are you doing that on a volunteer basis, or are you being paid?
Currently volunteer, except when I work extra hours past the 16 that I volunteer, he pays me for the additional work.
Are you planning on continuing that work in addition to taking an 8 to 12-hour shift at an emergency room?
Yes, that would be viable. Right now I work Mondays and Fridays for Dr. Medicine, and if NPR needed an 8 or 12-hour shift once or twice a month, that would be something that could be worked in. But I wouldn't want to make necessarily a weekly commitment to that.
That was my question.
Yeah.
So, do you think that increasing your work will increase stressors in your life?
Possibly.
And have you given any thought to how you would handle that if you were not under the constraints of a probationary agreement or in a probationary settlement?
I have been free to work 40 hours a week for some time now under my probationary agreement. And in spite of that, I've always maintained what I felt was a healthy balance between the amount of work I put in and the time I set aside for my family for Alcoholics Anonymous. So I don't anticipate becoming a workaholic and excluding my family or Alcoholics Anonymous.
You said that it was time to turn your attention back to your family. Does that mean that you believe, in addition to spending more family time together, you have some sort of an obligation to provide more financial support for your family?
No, I don't have any obligation to provide financial support for my family. It would be nice, but I don't think it's an obligation.
If I understood your answer earlier, you said that there are certain probation conditions that are onerous for you and your family, and you explained that you spend approximately 5 hours a week between going to the mandated physician's first meeting and then doing paperwork for your probation. Did I understand you correctly? Are there other conditions of probation that are onerous for you and your family?
I would say that it's not easy to travel with diversion because the random drug testing policy. I have to get up this morning, see if I had to test today, and if I had to test today, I have to find a place that she goes to test or I've never been. And in order to travel, to do it correctly, I have to ask 6 weeks in advance to be sure that there's a test site available to make sure all the paperwork is correct. So it really precludes easily traveling. Traveling is something that I have to think of very carefully, because if I woke up this morning and got too sidetracked by the fact that I was coming to a hearing and I forgot to check in because I'm not in my routine, that would be catastrophe. So a lot of how I maintain my compliance in my program is by staying at home and staying in my routine so I don't miss anything. So it would be nice to be able to, my parents live in New Mexico. It would be nice.
How many hours a week do you spend complying with the conversion term and condition?
I think it's estimated about 5. That's that number.
Plus the paperwork.
Right.
If the terms and conditions of your probation were modified so that you did not have to test either at all or as frequently, and if your DEA permit was, do you have your DEA permit again or not?
I have to have permission from the board.
And so if your probation was modified so that you were not testing, for example, as frequently, and your DEA permit was returned to you, the only other probationary term and condition that would be particularly onerous, if I'm understanding you, would be the fact that you are not going to be qualified by insurance companies as long as you're on probation. Is that correct?
There are other aspects of my probationary agreement that preclude me from working in any harm. Those probationary agreements include not being able to write or dispense or administer narcotics conflicts where that's part of the work order. The current office that I work in, we don't have narcotics in our office, we're just in our care office. But any place where patients needed pain management and that was on site, by the current terms.
But you would be able to work, and you would be able to bill insurance companies if you work in a setting that does not require that you write narcotic medication. Is that correct?
I don't quite understand. I'm sorry.
It's my understanding that the DEA permit, I may be mistaken, but the DEA permit allows you to write
Narcotic restrictions.
correct. But it was also my understanding that you can have a restricted DEA permit which allows you to write certain prescriptions for certain families of drugs that do not include certain restricted substances. Am I correct about that?
No,
No, I'm not correct.
you are not correct.
Fine, then never mind. Thank you. I have nothing further to say.
Do we have any questions from any of the board members?
I do.
And if you could just state your name before you ask your question.
Sure, Lally. So ma'am, thanks for coming today. One of your principal diagnoses when you were at the place in Oregon was major depression or depressive disorder. At that time, they defined it as mild, recurrent. You stated to us today that you're on Lexapro, and you've continued on the Lexapro. Have you, as an adjunct to that, have counseling set up to handle the depression? And it's not an AA situation. You actually see someone about depression.
Oh, yes, I had 3 years of mandated counseling through Maximus. But it was kind of funny, Maximus and I kind of got jammed up at the beginning because I had already put into recovery and I had already set up counseling and I was already seeing a therapist before coming into the program. And actually Hazelton worked with that therapist. And then when Maximus came in, Maximus said, yes, that's something you need to do, but I had already done it. So I received individual counseling probably three times a month for maybe 4 years.
Now,
It was, pardon me?
now,
What am I doing with it now? My counselors say go forth, be free, live life. This happens.
but they maintain you on Lexapro.
But my psychiatrist is maintaining me on
How often you see your psychiatrist?
every 8 weeks.
Now, I just want to make sure I didn't misunderstand something you said, and that was that you feel like somehow that this is an inconvenience on you, that you have to take testing, and that you have to rearrange your life and schedules to accommodate what you actually earned as part of this whole process. I think you said those words, I just want to make sure.
It's not so much that it's an inconvenience. It's that I think it served its time and purpose. I'm grateful that I'm grateful for 5 years of drug monitoring. That definitely helps people stay sober. I mean, that's one of the keys. And it's, I think, I don't know how to answer that question, I'm sorry. I don't want
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
She wanted to ask a follow-up question.
Oh.
I'm having the board members just state their
I
names.
just can't hear this.
Do you think we're putting the public safety at risk if we take information? And why or why not? And especially for low East Coast officials.
Well, first of all, I was interested as a member of the medical community and public safety and CR. I do not know from medical. My goal as a physician is to help people, not hurt them. So I do not want to be a resident of the medical community. But I wouldn't ask for you to let me pursue my license if I thought I was going to be a resident of the medical community. And I think that the are sure that you know it won't happen, or are you still questioning yourself? I am making a commitment to you that I'm going to take the steps every single day to prevent a relapse from happening. I am committed 100% to doing the work to maintain. The big book of Alcoholics Anonymous says we maintain remission on a daily basis based on a fit spiritual condition. And I am committed to you and to myself to maintaining that fit spiritual condition on a daily basis in order to achieve lifelong sobriety. Absolutely. This is a lifelong process, and it's not a process that's going to end today. It's not a process that's going to end tomorrow. It's a process that I'm committed to for life to stay sober.
During your testimony, I heard a lot of things about your family and you personally, but I didn't get a sense that you understood that by putting yourself in danger, you were putting other people in danger as well. Can you tell us about how that experience was, knowing that you potentially harmed individuals who were going through this personal condition?
That's a very valid point. Definitely, addiction in general, and my addiction specifically, is not just dangerous to me. It was dangerous to my family. It was dangerous to my children. It's dangerous when I was practicing medicine. And it is something that I deeply regret. And it is something that I am committed to making sure it never happens again.
And are you comfortable telling patients about your experience?
Actually, yes. Some people need to know that there is a way out of this, that there is recovery, that there is hope. And patients are very, very interested in knowing that, life can change if you take the right steps, and you can achieve sobriety with the help of Alcoholics Anonymous.
Just a quick question. You mentioned Bakersfield, you get a lot of calls for emergencies. How common will you rate with other doctors in the emergency room based on your current state of affairs as an individual? Your emotional well-being, your ability to take care of yourself. Are you competent to other physicians? How do you rate above them?
As far as my personal health and well-being, I would say I'm on par with that.
You've been board certified in emergency medicine?
Yes, I am currently certified in emergency medicine. I just took my technical examination exam.
That's the first time. In the beginning of the national program, how because I did the amount of hours monthly needed requires a little bit.
When I initially entered Maximus, I was going to healthcare support group in Fresno twice a week, which is a 2-hour drive from Bakersfield. So going to healthcare support group was a 12-hour commitment for 2 years. After 2 years of participation, I was allowed to go to Fresno once a week. And then it was a 6-hour commitment once a week to go to healthcare support group alone. Initially, when I finished my inpatient stay Cleveland, I did follow-up care. That was a 2.5-hour commitment a week for the first year, and then an hour commitment a week per year after that. I've always maintained, initially, I guess, I don't remember when I stopped going to an AA meeting every single day, and I went from a meeting a day to 4 meetings a week. So somewhere in there, I stopped having 1-hour a day committed to AA, and I've gone down to 4 hours. And even though people often go to conversion meetings and ask for less AA meetings a week as a reward, I I didn't want to get more. I want to go for ABBs. That's what helps me stay where I want to be. So I do for ABBs. And the drug testing is probably once a week.
You agree that the remaining components now, what's left in the first program, the program has served its purpose for you, and explain why you think that is the case, sir.
I feel that I am emotionally, physically, mentally ready. I have, God willing, on June 24th, I will have 6 years sober, continue the monitor sobriety, and I feel that I've grown, and I feel that in the big book it says, if you stick with the program of Alcoholics Anonymous, you get a life beyond your bottom screens. You get a life beyond anything you could possibly imagine. And today, sitting here in front of you, I really think that that has happened for me. I feel like the big book delivered on all its promises. I had a spiritual awakening as a result of the 12 steps. And I am a sober, productive woman. And that's a gift, and that's a miracle. It's a true gift. And I cherish it.
With regard to your competency behind tab 0, we took an American Board of Emergency Medicine concert examination in 2016. You received a score of 79, and according to the scoring criteria, the score to be 75 must be attained to pass. Have you taken that test prior to this?
Yes.
And were your results consistent with that, or have you done better or worse than pass?
It was rough. I think I did a little better the first time.
How much is
I don't remember the exact score anymore.
now directing your attention to Dr. Lawley's question, which is really sort of part of why we're here today. If you were to use the program's language, be rigorous and honest in your response to Dr. Lawley's question, really, why should this board relieve you from the obligation which you freely entered into to remain on probation until 2019?
Because I think that the terms and the conditions of the probation have been served after that. And I think that I agree.
And directing your attention to, I'm sorry, it's a doctor? Thank you. Ms. Mercado's question about putting members of the, my question specifically about putting members of the public at risk. In the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, there's a step where you take an inventory, and then there's a later step where you make amends for those character defects which you identified as a result of taking your inventory and going through your sponsor or another trustworthy person. When you took your inventory, did you address the situations in which you had put members of the public at risk as a result of your addiction?
Absolutely.
And how did you do it? How do you continue? It's a continuing process to make amends and deal with that judgment defect, which resulted from your own, both disease and your own, to use the words of the book, arrogance and self-seeking. How do you do that? How did you do that?
Well, the first and absolute primary thing is that I have to stay sober. I make living a daily amends by being sober. I make living a daily amends by sitting up, showing up, and doing the next related steps, and doing the work. And
Sure. Sorry. I think it's a very legitimate concern Ms. Mercado has. At the end of the day, the disease of addiction is not only medical, but also, as you indicated at length in your answers, is as a result of the spiritual lack for one nurture. So part of the underlying premise of working at the Osteopathic program is that you identify your therapeutic defects and then you make amends for them. Sometimes those are concrete amends, other times those are continuing amends. So my question is, how do you in your daily life today make amends to those members of the public who were or who could have been seriously injured as a result of your diagnosis with this cunning, baffling disease? Cunning, baffling, and
first of all,
disease.
in order to be safe, I have to be sober. And I am sober. I am staying sober. And I'm doing the work to stay sober. But also, part of getting back is, yes, I do volunteer my time in the community as a physician, helping people who don't have insurance. I volunteer my time and I help in Alcoholics Anonymous with offering my experience strength to others, my experience strength and hope to others, to try and show them where they can. Yes, I do share my story with patients who are struggling with addiction to show them how they can get help and how they can help themselves. Cutting, baffling, and powerful. And I think that I have a very strong story to share with people about how recovery can work. If you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to get sober, if you're willing to stay sober, you can get your life back. And I think that that's an important message that needs to be brought to the public. Thank you. I'm not further. Thank you.
Further questions? If there is no other questions, did you have any other witnesses? Was there any witnesses from the AG? No.
If you were to elect, what would be your immediate actions if you were no longer in condition?
I would relapse, ask for help. It has to come outside of me. I have to let my sponsor know. I have to let my doctors know. I have to let my primary care doctor know. This is not something that happens on my own by myself. This is something that happens within the community.
So you would not interact with any patients?
Oh, definitely not. If I relapsed, I would not. I'm sorry. I thought you asked, like, what measures would I take to get help?
I guess it was a double.
Yeah, okay. But no, my reason for being a physician is to help people, not to hurt them. I do not want to get people to help. That's not why I'm here. I want to make a positive contribution to people's lives.
So if there's nothing further to, was there anything in closing?
I would like to say a few things. First of all, everyone
think that what made this case unique to me is that the probationer had in fact started in uncoverment before the official sanctions sort of kicked into place. And I'm old and fashioned enough to think that character traits are character traits. So I think this is someone who, when she hit bottom, did in fact have the courage to start addressing her issues. The other fact that I found particularly important in reviewing all of the documents here is that her behavior on probation has been stellar. No missed tests, I always see missed tests. No missed tests, no dirty tests, no failures to attend, etc., etc. She also works a fairly rigorous program. And she makes a good presentation. The reality is, on the other hand, though, that addiction is a disease that has different components to it. Obviously, there's a physiological background or foundation to it. I'm not going to talk to you folks about it because what I know doesn't begin to matter. You all know, so that doesn't matter. What's concerning to me about today's hearing was a petitioner's response twice. Once to Dr. Lawley's direct question, and once to my follow-up question to Dr. Lawley's question. I'm also old enough to remember that back in the day when you made a bargain, it was a bargain. You said, I'm going to do this for X amount of time. You did it for X amount of time. Understand that she has more sobriety time than she does probationary time. That was the case when she entered into this probationary agreement. Yeah, it's a pain to be on probation. I think that the testing requirements are, to use either her words or her attorney's words, onerous. I also think when people enter into probation, they're well aware of what those conditions are going to be. So at the end of the day, really, it's not about a cunning, baffling, and powerful disease. It's really and truly about public protection where we sit today. So the question in my mind when I sit here and wonder how to argue this fairly from my position to be a representative of the public is whether or not I think that being on probation under these terms and conditions is going to guarantee that the public remains safe. That is, if she's on probation another, whatever the numbers are, 2.5 or 3 years, is that going to ensure her sobriety? The truthful answer is no. Because people go out and they have 90 days of sobriety, 30 days of sobriety, 2 days of sobriety, 25 years of sobriety. You all know that because you're all professionals, or you are a member of the community, and this is not a big secret. I don't know that making her stay on probation for the full term of probation is going to make her a safer physician. But for the fact that she cannot obtain, as I understand it, patients through insurance, I would be inclined to argue to you, she signed up for it and she should stay on until 2019. But the flip side is, she works a darn good program. At the end of the day, is the public going to be much safer if you make her stay on probation for the full term? I don't think so. She's either going to go out or she isn't. And she can go out as easily tomorrow as she can in 2021. 8 years, she has all of the tools. She's either going to use them or she's not. At the end of the day, of all the people I've seen in 10 and a half years doing this, I think she's made the best case for an early termination. If you don't intend to do that, I certainly, given her record, can see making the term and condition regarding testing to either do away with that entirely or to cut it back. So it's not a definitive argument. It's the best one I have for you. I'm glad I don't have to make this decision.
All right, so the matter is submitted and we're off the record.
So we're going to go ahead and go into closed session. So we ask our guests to
That's my lunch. That's
Sir, did you want us to remain until you're out of post?
That's what I'm thinking.
Siani here. Italiano? Yes. How did I do? I thought you were going to call. You did okay. I'm Sicilian tonight.
Yes,
Hard
in case
time.
you call for that.
Oh, do you have associates with you that want to sit with you?
That's stay back there. We're fine. We're in the back.
So our presentation is from Affiliated Monitors, Inc., Practice Monitors for Probationers. Is that correct?
That's right.
Take it away.
Thank you so much. Very nice to be here. So my name is Vin DeCiani. I'm the president of Affiliated Monitors, and I'll tell you a little bit about our services. I'm an attorney by background. I used to be the Attorney General's office in Massachusetts many years ago, working on a variety of matters. And I went, as they say, to the dark side, and I was representing practitioners before agencies like yours. Did that for about 30 years. Created Affiliated Monitors in 2004 to provide what I would call remedial services for boards. And so we work providing independent monitoring in a variety of different settings, which I'll tell you about. I make a lot of presentations to boards, and one of the things that always strikes me is the fact that you folks sacrifice a lot of your time to serve on the board. And I don't think you get the respect that you deserve. And so I always try to say that to board members, because I see you, in Arizona or Louisiana, and I just really appreciate that. And as I said, I don't think you get the recognition for the commitment and sacrifice that you make. So Affiliated Monitors was created as a result of a couple of cases that I had for the Massachusetts Medical Board years ago, as the case proceeded, the punishment that was available back in '96, which is the time frame the case was that I'm referring to, they didn't really have a probationary term. It was either a slap on the wrist, a letter of admonition, or a suspension or revocation of the license. They didn't really have anything probationary. And it was a case that really screamed for some years. And so over the course of, again, my career in doing this work for government agencies, I spoke to a lot of boards. I spoke to board counsel. I spoke to people that, other attorneys that represented boards, and came up with the idea to create a service, a private service, that provides sort of remedial oversight for boards as a resource to supplement sort of the investigators and the boards who oftentimes would serve as monitors, on matters, and we know that's problematic to try to get, because you'd be recused on the incidents. So we started the service in 2004, and we started with the chiropractic board in Massachusetts, monitoring a number of those, I'll call them fake car accident cases that you may recall, where everybody was going to the same chiropractor for a series of services to get over a $2,000 threshold.
started using us to provide independent monitoring for their cases. Then we started working with the Massachusetts Medical Board, and that has spread out to about 40 states. So we provide the services of independent monitoring in about 40 states. I'll tell you about the types of cases that we have. So independent monitoring is really what we do, and that comes about, and I think you know this, as a result of a settlement agreement or a term of probation that the board may institute. I met with Ms. Burton probably 2 or 3 months ago. In fact, I met her about 10 years ago, I think. I was here, I was just talking about that, I was here to make a presentation when the holistic board was part of your board. I happened to be at the meeting, I know you years ago, it's just somewhat controversial. So affiliated monitors provides services where the board has determined that the practitioner should be allowed to stay in practice, but needs some independent oversight, and that's what we provide. So the independent oversight that we provide follows the terms of an order or probation. We need your sort of input in order to be able to monitor. The monitoring that we do will last as long as the term of the period of the administrative agreement or probation. We use local practitioners to serve as our monitors. And so the work that we do, for example, in Louisiana, we use Louisiana practitioners. Florida, we use Florida practitioners. We've developed a wonderful network of providers who have years of experience and like to get involved in our cases because they're helping other practitioners. We don't want those serious cases that we think this person should not be practicing. We want the ones where the board says, this is somebody we should give a shot to. Let's put them under a monitorship, which allows them to be sort of practicing but with oversight. Okay? The services that we provide are of no cost to the government because the people who have to monitor pay for our services. There's no cost to it. And that's why we see ourselves as a resource for the boards. And we can enhance, sort of your investigators and your the folks that handle the enforcement activities. The monitors that we use, just to give you a little bit of an understanding, we go out into the community to find practitioners. We vet them to make sure that they don't have anything in their background that will cause anybody embarrassment. Again, we like experienced practitioners who may be slowing down in their practice. Those are the people that we reach out to. We have used former board members as monitors because they understand the needs of the board and what the board is really going after. When we vet our monitors, we have them do a conflict of interest check, so we make sure that they're not the best friend of the brother-in-law of the person being monitored. We train our monitors on how to monitor. So we have this whole process where we do that. If you decide to use us on a monitorship, before we actually start our work, we provide the board with a name and the CV of the proposed monitor. And we tell you that this is the person that we believe would be really good. Sometimes the monitoring, you have to be very careful in the selection of the monitor because it's got to be appropriate. Sometimes it's a younger practitioner who really needs some guidance, needs some more mentoring. And sometimes it is purely like building a coding kind of thing, where you don't necessarily need somebody with that level of experience because they don't necessarily have those issues. So we're very careful in the selection of the monitors. As I said, the monitors are trained. What we do as a business is to take your order and create a checklist for our monitors. So if it's A, B, C, and D, you want us to look at 10 charts a month. If you want us to do some over-the-shoulder observations, whatever it is that you put into the determination, we will do that. And we create that process for the monitor. The monitor doesn't just go into the office and say, here I am, let me figure out what the problems are. We know from the order that we've been given, these are the issues. Sometimes we have to go behind the order, and so we would be in touch with the executive director, folks at the board to understand maybe there was something else and it didn't really spelled out in the order. Once the monitor goes into the office after they've been approved by the board, and they do their work and they complete a checklist. We then take that checklist and put what they've found into prose. So we put it into it. We've given some sample because we didn't submit it to you. You have to, but we've left towards sample reports of the kind of work that we do. In our reports, we use the same methodology. We'll always tell you what we did and when we did it. So we were in Dr. Smith's office on, March 17th. We saw, we looked at both patient charts and we looked at these two. Always going to have that in the report that we do. We then will identify and describe very specifically health findings. So maybe they weren't taking family histories, and that's what we're looking at. Whatever it is we're looking at, we're going to detail it in the report. We always give the monitor room to make recommendations, because this is a remedial program. We really want to get them better, so we're figuring out what the problem was based on what you told us, and we try to get them to a place that actually is and improve deficiencies that we've identified. And once the report then is submitted, it's submitted to the board with a copy to the practitioner. So that's the process of monitoring, and that's sort of what we've been doing for many years. So when we do our monitoring, the cases that we handle are almost every variety. So I'll give you just a couple that are very hot right now around the country, and I'm sure they all do. Pain management cases, we do all the time. So prescription practices. We are currently monitoring about 45 pain management cases with boards around the country. We've done about 160 of them. And that's getting better. I think that's just a case that we just see. So it's oversight of the practice. Sometimes they don't have the docs don't have good controls in place. They don't have good controls in place. But we're watching them and watching what they're doing, how they're prescribing, what kind of documentation they have, those kinds of things. We do a lot of those kind of cases. We do a lot of record keeping, billing, coding. I don't know if you see a lot of coding like those fraud cases. I don't know if they work really after this board. We do those, like Medicaid, Medicare, launch. We do a lot of boundary cases. Again, boundary cases where the doctor has been accused of some kind of inappropriate behavior with a patient. We create a very, I would call it comprehensive process for launching those cases, which include chaperoning, and some boards will allow the doctor to have their own chaperones. Sometimes we have to supply the chaperones, depending on the seriousness of the case. We've done both. The chaperones report to us, they are trained by us, they are approved by the boards. We go through that process all the time. In addition to the boundary cases, what we do is we've created a record keeping system that I think is very important for the board to understand. So in the process for chaperoning and monitoring of a boundary case, we create a sort of a sign-in sheet, so we know the patients that have been in the office and in there. The chaperones have to log every, we're call it feedback patient, chaperone situation. So they create a log, sign under the name of perjury, that they were with the patient at the given time that the patient was in the office. On the patient's chart itself, we create another log where the patient is actually signing their own chart, acknowledging that the chaperone was in the building with them at that time. And so that's a system that we created. The chaperones then submit a supplemental report to us every month. Now we're collecting these logs all the time. But then each month they have to identify if they've seen anything that was even suspicious, if the doctor has been cooperative, if the doctor's seen anybody that they think is a chaperone. They're also trained to report anything that happens immediately to us, and then we report that to the board. I'll tell you about the situation we just had in New Jersey with that. So that's our internal chaperone. Then what we do is on a quarterly basis, we send in an external chaperone. And what they do, external monitor, and what they do is they interview the doctor to see if this is the only place he's practicing, to see if there's anything in the practice that is suspicious. They interview the chaperones to see if the process is being followed. They then go to that signage sheet, and they'll randomly select 5 to 10 of the charts. And then they will cross-check against the logs and the patient charts to see that the process is being followed. It's been very effective around the country. Lots of cases. So it's a good process. Some of the other cases that we're doing, with the quality of care issues, where the board has identified something that is very concerning, where they want the monitor sometimes to not just looking at the charts, which as you know can be flat, but to actually go in and observe. So we've done that. We might do 4 hours of observation and then see how it's being charted. So it's a little bit of a different kind of authorship, but it's when you have those concerns about the quality of care that's being provided, they'll do those kinds of monitoring. We handle a number of delegation of patient care function cases where the doc has his staff doing things initially. And so we monitor those cases. Now, again, we've monitored surgeons, we've monitored behavioral health cases, we've monitored OBGYNs, almost everybody that can be monitored over the years. We've done about, 500, 550 monitorships reports. So as I said, we work in about 40 states, 39 states, and with a variety of points. In California, we've been working with chiropractic. And we think that we can be an effective resource for the people here. And again, appreciate the opportunity to make this presentation. This is our healthcare is our main business, but we do a lot of other monitoring. You may have heard of independent monitors being used on occasion. So we monitor for our AG's offices around the country, and we do a lot of work on the federal and the international side. So about 6 months ago, the Federal Trade Commission appointed us to be monitored in a court of consent decree in the Central District of California of Herbalife. So Herbalife is one of those nutritional supplement companies and had to be monitored for 7 years under this consent decree. We are serving as the monitoring agency. We're monitoring for the Federal Communications Commission. The merger, and they affect some of you, the merger between AT&T and DirecTV had all of these conditions on it. So we are the monitor for the FCC reporting to see whether or not both AT&T and DirecTV are fulfilling their requirements under their we monitor international matters for the Department of Justice. We do Foreign Corrupt Practices Act cases, which is corruption in other countries. So we end up we've monitored for the UN, the World Bank, USAID. We've monitored for the Department of Defense. We monitor companies that might be contractors who provide us goods and computer services and what have you. We monitor for them under a variety of different situations. So we know how to monitor, and we've been doing it for a long time. The difficulty that we have is coming out and saying hi to you, because we never get to do that, and just to let you know that we are here and available to be a service. So when I talked with Ms. Burton, we thought this would be a good opportunity if you want to ask me questions, on how we do our work, what we do, those kinds of things. And I'm very happy to be here. And missed you in Dallas, Fort Worth. We were at the FSMP. Well, we've been there for many years. That's why.
Maybe I walk by.
Yeah, you might have walked. Exactly.
Exactly. I got pictures.
I have a question. What do you think are the board's pain points and how can you fill those for us?
When you say pain points?
Yeah, so based on the monitoring that you do, what are our pain points that you can help us fill the gaps based on your services?
Yeah,
Is that up for a discussion for us to figure out, or can you come with some recommendations?
So you have to make the decision as to whether or not the practitioner should be on a monitorship. That's something you have to decide. That's not up to us. We have helped boards create the terms. Because some boards, when you have to use a monitor like this, understanding what the monitor needs to do. So I need some specificity when you make a finding. And you know what I mean? We need to know what your issues are that you want us to monitor. The very first case we did for the state, the Medical Board of Rhode Island said this. The doctor needs to be monitored. The monitor needs to submit a report every 3 months. We didn't know what that was. What do you want us to look at? Is it a pain case? Is it a voucher case? What do you want to know about this practitioner from an independent? So that's a very important element.
So we have PACE in California. So y'all can match that.
But so PACE does a lot of the evaluation work. Ours is, so we do some evaluations, but ours is more practice and monitoring. It is actually going into the practice and again, reviewing charts, interviewing staff. It might be the over-the-shoulder stuff. Sometimes you have cases, and we've talked about this, you have cases where something is wrong. It's not necessarily quality of care, but administratively, the place is just a mess. You know what I mean? They don't respond to subpoenas. They're not providing healthcare records. The doc doesn't renew his license. All of those kinds of things. We have programs to work with them where it's not practice issues, it's more operational administrative issues. We have those kinds of cases. So the board tells us what you want to have covered. And again, more specificity really helps the monitor, but we will address all of those things. The other thing that we can do, and this is why we help the investigators, is we can go in as frequently as you ask us to. So some boards, this is what we're seeing around the country, as boards create an obligation for monitors. It might be a 2-3 year monitorship. We've got some that are lifetime. We're going to have monitor cases that we're monitoring the person around. I've got one in New Jersey on here now. You know what I mean? So that's up to the board. But the board tells us we want you in quarterly, every month, or every 6 months. What the board's doing, because they recognize us, we've worked with many of the boards, they'll say, if you get monitored by affiliated monitors, maybe that first year we're going to do it a little bit more frequently, but if the reports are coming in that are positive, they might reduce the frequency. So it might go from monthly to quarterly, or quarterly to every 6 months, and then that last year it might be just one more cleanup at the end. You know what I mean? So that's what the board tells us. But again, that's really up to you folks to decide sort of frequency, duration of the monitorship. That's up to you. And I'm going to tell you, I've had this experience. If you put someone on a monitorship for too short a period of time, you don't get behavior change. They'll be on their best behavior for that 6 month time, and then they go back. It takes a while for them to get it. You know, because they know we're coming in. We're coming back next month, or we're coming back in 6 months. You need to do these things.
How do the boards monitor your company? How do we keep track of what you're doing?
Yeah, so we stay in touch with the executive director all the time. So do know what cases we have. We're very timely on our reports. So if a report is due on the 15th, you're going to get the report on the 15th before. A lot of the folks that work for affiliated monitors used to be either in a position of an executive director or counsel to the board. That's our team. So we know how to do that. I think after 15 years, we've developed that kind of relationship with boards where they trust us because, again, we've been doing this for boards. If we see something that's inappropriate, we're in the country almost immediately. But let me tell you about this New Jersey case. So we have a boundary case in New Jersey. It's our craziest case ever. So it's a case where the doctor, a doctor killed their time. Okay, if I can use that reference. The wife is the office manager. And about 9.5 years ago, he was accused by one of his patients of inappropriate behavior. The board in New Jersey, when we were not involved in that, the board in New Jersey said to him, we need help, a chaperone. So, and an outside chaperone. So he hires a chaperone. And 6 months later, the chaperone reports to the board he's hitting on her. So the board called us and said, what can you guys do? Because I knew the executive director. So the board called us and said, what can we do? And so we created, as I described, this chaperone. First of all, they said you cannot see any female patients. Right? But you can see male patients. But you need to chaperone, not for the interactions with female patients. Every time there is a female in the office, including your own staff, you need to be chaperoned. So we have 2 women that work in his office, they're nurses, and they take turns, but they literally shadow him all day. All day. Every interaction with females in the office, and they keep logs and whatever. So for the first 4 years, and I had this heart-to-heart with him the first day. I said, this is going to be expensive. And if you do anything, even a hint, you'll be 4 years goes by, and he's been perfect. He's been an angel. The board then reduces some of his term, so he's under order. 5 years, they allow him to start seeing female patients, but with the same chaperoning process that I described. And again, it's been great. Year 8.5, and this just happened in March, we got a call that he was acting inappropriately with one of the people in his office. And our chaperone, who was with him, saw something. When he's not with patients, he's in a room, but they put him like this in a cubicle, if you will, and the chaperone's next to him. This is what it's like. I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing ever. But she saw something out of the corner with him and this person in the office. And she immediately confronted the doctor. That's not right. She touched her shoulder, and she thought something was up, but she immediately reported to us. We did an investigation, and it turned out that he was acting in a we immediately reported in the next 12 hours of our circumstances. And we even taken up, what hasn't done anything yet, I think he's potentially going to be facing more discipline during the process of doing that. But we do report things instantly. I mean, I think that's where we can be a resource to move forward. Because you don't have the staff and stuff. So we do that.
So I think you answered my question, but the question is who pays for this? So that's mandated by the board and the physician pays for this service?
Yeah, I've given you a couple of sample settlement agreements. So in the settlement agreements for terms of probation, it often says the doctor needs to be monitored and you can use a company monitors, sometimes with everyone. But they say, and this is where it's really an important relationship, they say that the monitor is responsible for all costs. The monitor must cooperate. The monitor has to hold the monitor. I mean, the client has to cooperate with the monitor. The client has to hold us harmless because we need to report to the board everything that we see. And so I can't have any fear of this guy's not going to like what I said. I need to be able to say that. So we show you some language where that is used. So what we do is, it's almost like a triangular relationship that we have. So you're dealing with the practitioner and you have the order, which has these various terms. We have a contract with the practitioner and we incorporate your order into our agreement, which says we are reporting to the board. That's sort of how it works. And so then we submit our reports directly to the board. It's one of the things that we've learned over the years is you want our original report. You don't want us negotiating with really crafty defense attorneys who are going to try to change the language, negotiate on the fix of our report. You want our report. But that's the relationship that's built. And they are responsible for all costs. In all of the years that we've been doing this, we've never taken one penny from any other board that we've worked with. I've worked with many.
So from our perspective, it's an additional tool in our
That's exactly what it is.
toolbox.
It's a resource.
Okay.
It's a resource. And when we've given you some references, so you can call other boards, this is what we do. And I can't say it any further in terms of a point of explanation than you can talk to the boards that we work with. And we've given you some sample redacted reports, just so you get the feel for this. This is not sort of a back of the envelope, always doing very well kind of monitoring. It's in depth. You're going to get to know what this practitioner is doing in those areas where you've asked us to address. The other thing I'm going to tell you is there are times when we are in a practice where we see things that are not necessarily in the order. You're in there and you see the light bulbs are falling off the shelf. It's just something's off. We can address those things, and we do. And so sometimes we have to distinguish in our report what are the requirements of your order, but then what's really a best practice, and we do that. Sometimes they're doing things that, could be better, or they're using an old, something, piece of equipment or something, and we will make a recommendation as a best practice, not under the order, but because we think it's a good thing to do and help them. The thing that we get, and we're very passionate about we do this, we've been doing it for a long time, and we get great satisfaction when we call them graduate, they graduate from the program and then they're off. Recidivism is almost the nil, and that is like the nil. They get it because they're getting almost a mentor. That's why we like to use more experienced practitioners as our monitors, because we're helping them fix the problems. And that's huge. You can't get that. So sometimes boards will use an education course as a way of giving them some kind of remediation. You know this and I know this. Are they really paying attention when they go to that course? And that's the one. Number two, are they really incorporating what they've learned, into their practice? We can push them. I hope that is. thank you so much. It's really nice to be here. I appreciate it, and you know, if you're at all hesitant to try some of these, and you'll see, and I'll tell you, this is what we do. It's great to see you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Sorry, can I ask a more something? Because Jason advised you on whether or not this is the board connection there or not.
We use
Oh, do you? Oh, okay. Okay.
It's in, well, we would have to, we don't have to, our guideline says case or similar.
Oh, okay.
So I do believe it's open.
Okay, no, I was just curious. I've been with you guys for a while. I'm refreshing my memory. Okay.
Was there anything you think we should know?
No, I was just asking. Yeah, because I'm looking, because I wanted to double check to see if this is possible, but Angie says that there's something, so I'll